Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Amanda Jenkins, and I will be guiding you through our online CAP system. Today, we will create and issue a commitment. First, we will log into the system using the resource desk. I am logged in as Larry's staff, the staff person working under Attorney Natalie Test. When logging in, I will click on Search for or Issue a Commitment or Certificate. The Transactions Listing screen provides a number of ways to search for an existing transaction. Today, we will create a new transaction. The CAP program is transaction-based. To create the transaction, answer the questions and fill in the necessary information. First, we will verify that Attorney Natalie Test will be the participant who will sign this commitment. We are creating a residential purchase transaction. As you can see, you will be directed to the Iowa Title Guarantee Commercial Department if you select commercial, unimproved land, or wetlands. So we are going to select purchase, and we are preparing a commitment. We will rely on information which has been provided by the lender and also found on the preliminary title opinion to complete this. So after we've selected commitment, we're going to select lender first coverage and enter the mortgage amount as provided by the lender. We will add a closing protection letter. We won't need coverage for a lender second or junior mortgage, but we will add owner coverage. The proposed purchase price is entered as the coverage amount. The names of the buyer's borrowers are entered, one in the first field and the other buyers in the second field. The names of the current title holders are entered in the title holders field. Today, our example will show how to create a commitment when the seller is a company. After clicking on Create Transaction, you will land on the Transaction Detail screen. The transaction has been assigned a unique 9-digit number. The first 2 digits are the year the transaction was created. Across the top of the screen is a banner which provides details of the transaction, including a field where you can enter a file number to assist you in managing your office's files. There we go. And then we will hit save here. In our system, any fields that are designated with a red asterisk are required fields. On the left side of the screen, you will see a list of transaction screens which must be completed before the commitment can be issued, each designated with a red X. When a screen has been completed, the X will change to a green check mark. We will begin by completing the property screen, and you can see that's where we are right now. So here we will enter the house number in the first field, then the rest of the street address in the next field. The unit number or condo number is entered in the secondary number field if that is a part of the address. Type and then select the city from the drop-down menu. Go. And then type the zip code. You'll notice it defaults to Iowa as your state. We are only insuring property in Iowa. The county is selected using the list on the left. So here you'll find your county. There we go. And you'll enter the entire legal description as found on the abstract or title opinion. And I do hope that you're able to copy and paste that from your title opinion. If your legal description describes a specific number of acres. Click on this blue text to add the number of acres disclaimer to the end of the legal description. This tells the lender that we did not perform a survey on this property to guarantee that exact number of acres. A Save Changes button appears at the top and the bottom of each of the screens. Clicking on either of these buttons will save your work. If a field is not completed, we'll remove our zip code. And then you can click on what's incomplete up here, and that'll help you locate your problem. And you can see under the Property tab, the zip code is required. So we will go back and we will add our zip code and hit Save Changes. And you can see now we have a green check mark, letting you know that it is now complete. Next, we will work on the General Info screen. We'll be clicking on that. Verify the type of transaction we are working on, and we are working on a purchase. This can be changed if necessary. The total premium due may change as the screens are completed. And here we will enter our certification date and time of the abstracting. Yep. You'll select the abstractor from the drop-down list. We want Best Ever Abstracting. That list includes all abstractors who are eligible to provide abstracting services in the county of your property. Users who are not logged in as an attorney or attorney staff will type and then select the title opinion attorney from the drop-down list. And you can see I'm logged in as a staff member, so my attorney is shown. The names of the borrower buyers and title holders pre-fill, and you will select whether each is an individual or a legal entity. For real persons, select individual. If not a person, select legal entity. If the current title holder is a legal entity, you will also select the entity type. In our example, the company is a corporation. These designations help to pre-fill the Commitment Schedule B. Next, we are going to select our title holder tenancy. By clicking on Joint Tenants with Full Rights of Survivorship and Not as Tenants in Common, or As Tenants in Common, those phrases will be added after the names of the title holders on Schedule A. If you were unsure of the tenancy of multiple title holders, click on Unknown, and the disclaimer language will appear after their names. For only one title holder, either a person or a company, as in our example, click on Other. You can also use the Other option and type the tenancy if it does not fit one of the listed options. The composite mortgage affidavit will print with each commitment. Select Copy from Title Holders here, and the names of the title holders will appear in the CMA Title Holders field. If two current title holders' names are imported here, move the name of the second title holder to the CMA Title Holder 2 field, so one name appears in each text box. And this will pre-fill your signature lines on the composite mortgage affidavit. The Mail to and Contact Information section is optional. If you want a mailing sheet to be printed with the commitment, click the box and complete the field. We'll click on Save Changes. Once all fields have been completed, the General Info screen will be designated with a green check mark, and we can move on to the Lender First Coverage screen. Here we'll type the loan number if you know it. The coverage amount has pulled in from the prior screen, and the type of sale defaults to fee simple, but other options are available. Select the lender using the drop-down menu. The system saves a short list of the last lenders you've used, and I only have one saved here. If the lender you need for this transaction does not appear on your short list, Click on View All and type the lender's name. Then select the correct location. The field Name of Proposed Guarantee to appear on Schedule A displays how the lender's name will appear. This field can be edited if the lender asks that the name be altered, for example, that the street address or zip code appear. In most cases, no edits will be needed, but this is an open text field if you need to. To issue a closing protection letter, select the CPL lender in the same manner. So I'm just going to select it from my drop-down. If you did not designate CPL when creating the transaction, but find that you need one, it can be added on this screen by checking the box. And here I've removed it. So now I'm going to add it by just checking the box again. And we'll get my lender selected. And you can see it pre-filled. The closing protection letter will print as a separate document, not as part of the issued commitment. To print a draft version of the CPL from this screen, click on Preview CPL. Now also, we do have a lot of lenders that are particular about how their information appears on the CPL, and please keep in mind that all of these fields are open text boxes, so if its subsidiaries and affiliates need changed, you can certainly use the acronym for that. Perhaps they have a street address and need a suite number added. You can certainly do that here. So the only thing that cannot be changed is the name of the lender. The other fields can be changed. And now we're going to click on Save Changes. There we go. And then once all the fields have been completed, your lender first coverage screen will be designated with a green check mark. And now we're going to move to the lender endorsement screen. The endorsements available for this coverage are listed with the most commonly requested first in bold type. So those are up here. Then the rest are in alphabetical order below. The flag icon that you will see here indicates the endorsement will need underwriter approval. And if you click over it, it does tell you that it will be going to underwriter status before it's issued. Clicking on the question mark will bring up a brief overview of the endorsement over here. And let's click on one. There we go. So it brings up a brief overview of the endorsement, any underwriting requirements, and the text of the endorsement. So here's our underwriting requirements and our text. This particular endorsement also requires some variable boxes to be completed. And if you do need help completing those, you can use that help tool for instructions on what information goes in those fields. Select the endorsements you need, then save changes to move them to the selected list. So we're going to select the comprehensive, the environmental protection lien, the location, and we will also select PUD and the encroachment. Here's our encroachment endorsement. And we're going to hit Save Changes. And you can see all of our endorsements move to the top. Endorsements which do not require any edits will appear with a green check mark. If edits are needed, click on the word edit beside it, and then you will fill in the necessary information here. Here's our variable box. If you select an endorsement by mistake, you can click on the trash can beside it, which will remove it from the selected list. And see, now we no longer have the encroachment endorsement. Once the endorsements have been saved, the screen will be designated with a green check mark, and we can go right down to the owner coverage. On the owner coverage screen, enter the loan number if you know it. You'll click the box for free owner coverage, if appropriate, which will change the premium due from $25 to $0 when you save changes. And you can see now it is $0. And we've saved changes there. So now we can go down to the Owner Endorsements tab. Select endorsements as you did for the lender coverage. We don't need any endorsements in this example, so we are just going to save changes and move on to Schedule B. Schedule B, Part 1, contains requirements, you can see here, and Part 2 contains exceptions. Schedule B has pre-filled based on the information already entered. We do have additional Schedule B options that are available if you need help with the wording of a requirement or exception, and these have been sorted as to the section in which each would appear. Text which appears within a box can be edited, so this is an open text field. Some of the paragraphs can be removed by clicking on the trash can, and the order in which the paragraphs appear can be changed by using the up and down arrows, so you can move them around. Additional editable paragraphs can be opened within each section by clicking on the blue plus sign. So if you need to add a box, you'll click on that and it will appear. And then we're going to remove it. And the trash can took care of that. For detailed instructions on the completion of Schedule B, please see the webinar titled Commitment Schedule B. We are going to go ahead and save these changes. And you can see now Schedule B has been completed. And all of our screens now appear with a green check mark. So the commitment is ready to be reviewed and issued. So we are going to go to the Commitment Overview screen up here, which contains details of the transaction. The status is pending. Across the top of this screen are the available actions. You can issue, cancel, preview, and remember that the commitment, the transaction quote, and the CPL are separate documents and must be previewed and printed separately. If you have a question for our underwriters, you can ask it by clicking on Send to Underwriting. Then you will add a note explaining what you need. So here you'll click on OK, and you can tell the underwriting attorney exactly what your question is. We'll hit Cancel there. If you have a non-legal question, such as how do I word this exception, or if you want our staff to review the commitment before it is issued, you can send to audit. Again, you will be asked to add a note explaining what you need, and you can just put please review. If you need to add coverage to the commitment, it can be done now, which opens the screens needed to add that coverage. So we're going to add junior coverage here, and you can see it open those screens up for us. Schedule B also opens up again, forcing you to review it before the commitment can be issued. So we're going to go to the lender junior coverage, and you would select your lender the same way as you have on your other screens, and then your coverage amount would be the amount of that second mortgage. Now, if a coverage was added by mistake and is not needed, you just go to this coverage screen right where we are, and you're going to click on Remove this coverage. So we're going to go ahead and remove it. Now, you will need to review the lender first coverage again. It will make us save it because the system wants to know that nothing has changed on our other coverage tab. So we'll review the owner coverage again, and we'll hit Save. And then it will make us review Schedule B again. And we did not change anything on Schedule B, so we will hit Save Changes. Once reviewed and saved, we're going to be able to issue the commitment. So we will go back up to our Commitment Overview tab, and we're going to hit the Issue button. There you go. After it is issued, the commitment, transaction quote, and CPL will print without the draft watermark and are ready to be forwarded to the lender. So you can see now we are in issued status. So in our navigation bar, we are going to go down and click on Archive Snapshots. This screen is divided into active and archive downloads. Each time a commitment is reissued, the system will move the previous version of the commitment, CPL if applicable, and the transaction quote into the archive section, the most current version of each file will appear under Active. To view the document, you click on the name. So here, now you can print an issued commitment, CPL, or transaction quote. You can also select each document here to be and click Download Selected. Each document selected will download into a zip file. The zip file can be saved and printed or emailed. Changes can be made to the issued commitment by clicking on Amend. So we'll go back to that commitment overview, and here we have an Amend button. This will put your commitment back into pending status. Changes can be made to any of the fields. The system will automatically update Schedule B, and Schedule B must be reviewed before the commitment can be issued. After it is reissued, you'll be able to go back to your archive snapshots, and your amended documents will appear there. So let's go ahead and amend this. The most frequent thing that we have to amend would be the loan amount or our coverage amount. So we will go ahead and amend that and hit Save Changes. Once again, the system does want us to review Schedule B, and you can see under 4B, our new loan amount did update, so we can go ahead and hit Save there. And on our Commitment Overview tab, we can reissue this commitment. So we'll hit Issue. And once that is done, we're going to go down to that archive snapshots again, and you can see our new commitment, closing protection letter, and transaction quote appear under Active, and our previous ones are now down under Archives. This concludes our webinar on how to create and issue a commitment. Please contact Iowa Title Guarantee at 515-725-4357 if you have any further questions. Thank you so much for joining me today.